Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe, and click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a choosing beggar wants to sell his house, but that doesn't mean he isn't going to live on the property. Let's jump right in. My brother has recently decided to live closer to my mom, and so he is searching for a house in the same town. Our mom lives in a small town with just a hyperstore, but nothing else, so there are not a lot of choices, but he did find one house for sale in her town. The house was pretty pricey for the area. The price was equal to what it would cost to buy a flat in an upper-class district in Paris, but my brother gave it a try because he expected to find something interesting. It was a traditional house with a large field. There were some critical repairs to do, nothing special, so overall it was a decent place. Now the owner is the choosing beggar in this story. Despite the protests of the realtor, the owner insisted that he wanted to talk directly with my brother. He told my brother the story of the house, saying that he had lived his entire life there. Now that he is older, he is selling the house because he needed the money. It was clear in the selling price of the house that he had added a lot of sentimental value into the listing price. Above that, he also wanted to add some conditions to the sale. The agreement that he wanted to make with my brother was that he will sell the house, but my brother had to agree to let him live near his childhood house in a caravan on the property. He wanted to set up his caravan on the field beside the house. My brother told him politely that it was a ridiculous suggestion and that he would never accept that condition. Then the owner suggested that once my brother purchased the house after the sale, he could cut the field in half for him. My brother left pretty quickly. Despite wanting such an onerous condition, the owner was adamant about the price and wouldn't even consider dropping it. After the visit, the realtor told my brother that the owner has been trying to sell that property for 11 years. For some reason, he continues to be unsuccessful. Story number 2 shows us a choosing beggar who has a business selling artisanal twine and needs a website. Anyone want to guess what the website budget is? I was loosely acquainted with a woman who made artisanal twine and other materials for crafting out of various natural fibers and sold her twine at small markets and occasionally on that big handmade goods website. On this particular day, I was in a rush and I saw her at a shop, and the conversation is as follows. "Hey, you do websites, right? Hi Twiner, how are you?" "I'm not doing well at all. Business is very slow. It's because I am losing out to online shopping and I'm tired of paying all the fees for that website. I heard I could sell directly on my own website." "I'm sorry to hear that, and yes, I do create websites. If you're interested in my services, please send me an email and we can talk more. Right now, I really must be on my way." "Oh, well, you see, we are in a community as entrepreneurs, me and you. The reality is you have skills that I need, and you should really help someone like me because I am struggling." I wasn't really processing what she was implying at this point as I was concerned about my time. "Yes, I'd be happy to help. Send me an email and we can discuss it further, and I can send you a proposal and a cost estimate." "Well, it would only be less than 100 items, so I know that's easy to create. Like the website I'm on now has millions of items and they charge a percentage. I could give you a few of my twine bundles. We could do an exchange, or maybe, if you help me sell it, I could give you a small percentage." I am not really open for trades at this time, and you're talking about creating your own e-commerce site, right? My rates begin at $1,500 and increase from there, but I really must be going. "Oh, that's way too expensive. You could probably do it for free because I'm truly struggling and I might lose my house." Note, her house was gifted to her by her parents and she lives on some sort of trust fund. "And I know you are more successful. It just makes sense to help me out. It's only a small website." Okay, I'd be happy to give you some advice on using a website builder, but I cannot afford to work for free. I should have told her off, but I was still trying to be nice at this point because it is a small community and we had a lot of mutual acquaintances. I can't believe you won't even do the small thing for me. After all, you are still working and I'm losing money every day. You think you are better than me? Look, it's very clear that you don't respect my time and I can't work with you. Good luck and goodbye. And I hurriedly ran out of the shop to my car, quite annoyed and frustrated. A month later, she accosted my friend and told them that I was a rude and nasty person for not helping her out in her time of need, and that she couldn't believe I wouldn't help her. Whenever I see her out and about, she gives me death glares and has now told multiple people that I was mean to her. Luckily, people know what she is like and choose to ignore her, but still. In our final story, A Choosing Beggar finds out that the bakery doesn't have the donut she wants. Great! That means I get a really good deal, right? Some backstory. I work in a mom-and-pop style bakery. It is a family-owned business, and our bakers come in at 2:30 every morning to make all our donuts from scratch. We're known for having great gourmet donuts, as well as some experimental ones that are not advertised on our Facebook page. The way we work is first come, first served. If a customer wants a specific type of donut or pastry, they either have to call 24 hours ahead of time to place an order, or they can call the same day. If we have the donuts that they want the same day, we can box them and set them aside for pickup. Otherwise, we have no obligation to save donuts for anyone, even if they are a regular customer. Last week, I was closing with a newer employee, and I was responsible for training her on how to close. It's getting dangerously close to Halloween, our busiest season, as we sell special Halloween cookies. We were extremely busy, and I was behind on my closing tasks. We close at 5 p.m. on most weekdays, and it was about 4:45, and we still had most of our closing tasks to finish. In comes Karen, luckily to an empty lobby, or this would have been much worse. Karen informs us that this was her first time in the bakery, and she had driven about 2 hours to get there. She said she saw our pumpkin donuts on Facebook and wanted some. We informed her that we had sold out a couple of hours prior. Well, can't the bakers just make more? The bakers aren't here anymore. They come in around 2:30 in the morning to make donuts and go to bed around 7 p.m., so they don't like to be here until closing. That's a shame. I came all the way here from blank. Sorry about that. I hand her a business card with our hours. You can call ahead any time to order whatever you want. We can also ship out of state. That doesn't help me now. I'm sorry about that. Our donuts are first come, first serve. We can never guarantee our stock unless you call ahead first. But is there anything that we have here that looks good? Keep in mind that we still have plenty of donuts, filling 2 full cases, the equivalent of about 15 9x26 pans full of goods. How much is a dozen? $9 for a standard dozen, but we have some donuts that are a slight upcharge. Those are the ones that are more complicated and take more ingredients, or are otherwise larger donuts. I can point those out to you as you're choosing if you'd like. $9 is too much. I'm unsure what to say because I sell the donuts, lady, not set the prices. Fine, I guess I'll just take a dozen. My coworker and I begin boxing the donuts that she chooses. We point out which donuts are upcharged as she chooses them. She then points to one of our gourmet donuts, a specialty chocolate version of our most popular seller. We only offer it 1 day a week. What if I want a dozen of these? She gestures to the chocolate donuts. Those are $10 a dozen. I thought you said $9. Why the extra dollar? They're made the same exact way. I don't know, My coworker is stammering. She hasn't been here long enough to know how things work, so I decide to step in and defuse the situation. They're more expensive because they take extra ingredients and more time to prepare than our standard ones. Therefore, they're upcharged. That's ridiculous. I ignore Karen and ring up her total. She chose a dozen, but half of those were specialty donuts and large pastries, therefore adding $4 to her standard $9 per dozen. I tell her the price, she scoffs loudly, then laughs in my face. "That's crazy! I thought you told me it would be $9. "Yes, but I also told you that some are upcharged." "Not that much of an upcharge." "Well, half of your dozen were more expensive donuts." I go over to her box and point out the price of each individual donut she picked, clarifying which ones were higher priced specifically. "But I can get a dozen of these," points to our most popular seller, "for $9? "Yes." "Well, I wish you would have told me that. I would have gotten those instead." I can see the wheels in Karen's head turning. She's about to ask us that she's changed her mind and wants a different dozen, meaning we have to take all dozen of her donuts out of the box and place them back on the trays. This doesn't sound too hard, but donuts are delicate, and handling them more than necessary equals smudged icing, squished dough, and glove prints on the glaze, which equals less appealing to other customers. Plus, this means that we have to throw that box away as we can't reuse it for another customer per protocol. My coworker could see I was starting to lose it. She mouthed, "I'll get this," and I stepped into the kitchen to take a breather. I'm not kidding when I say that Karen spent well over half an hour choosing donuts and arguing with us about the prices. She asked if we had any sales going on. We said we didn't, so she asked if we could cut her specifically a discount since she drove so far to get here. I said no. My coworker and I spend the next 30 to 45 minutes handling Karen in shifts, each taking turns to argue and do our closing tasks. It is now past closing. We have to lock the door while Karen is still arguing because we can't let any more customers in after hours. Karen resorts one more time to commenting that all donuts are made the same way and therefore shouldn't be upcharged. I repeat again, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I can't change the price. Some of them take double the time to rise and bake. Some take several specialty ingredients that are not available in bulk. That all comes out of pocket. Our bakers come in before dawn and work really hard to make these donuts from scratch and therefore price them appropriately based on labor and ingredients costs. That's just how it works here." Karen didn't like that answer, but seemed to be getting just as tired of the situation as we were. Angrily, she pays for her donuts and walks out, but not before getting the last word in. "It's just a shame that I drove all this way for you to be out of those pumpkin donuts, but it's whatever." Then she closes the door and my coworker and I let out the biggest breath simultaneously. The real kicker here is that Karen walked out with $30 worth of donuts. She didn't ask us to unbox her original dozen. Instead, she added another dozen plus more on top of her order. Obviously, money wasn't an issue after all. I wish the story had more of a gut punch ending, but sadly it doesn't. Karen walked out still thinking it's okay to bully cashiers. But what blows my mind the most is how people like this have no concept of how a business works. If a business offers any kind of goods, how do you think they get those goods? We sure as hell don't bake our own money. If that were the case, then sure, you can get donuts for 15 cents a piece like you did in the 1930s. This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.